Good morning. It's a little nippy out here today. I had to put long pants on. I think it's supposed to be low 80s, but you know, when you get used to the hot stuff, it's not so cold that I need to switch back to hot coffee. But the guy that mows the lawn came this morning, so we have a sweet smelling grassy backyard that I probably shouldn't be sniffing allergy wise, but it smells nice. So today we are finally returning to the perfect t-shirt project. I had to do some thinking because that's how I roll. I had to figure out how I was going to arrange this top-down thing, and honestly the biggest brain process for me was to get this v-neck, because I am adamant that I wear v-necks. My next v-neck will be deeper, and so I've done some drawing, I've done some reading, I've looked at other patterns that are set up and how they're set up, and have come to a decision. At first I was going to try a tab cast on, so you don't have to do short rows when you do the back neck. I also grabbed my favorite cardigan, the boxwood cardigan, and I looked at that pattern. Even though it's a cardigan and it knits back and forth for the whole thing, what I've done is a mashup sort of between my gauge, that pattern, looking at the books by Ann Budd and the other two authors who I will list and link to in the discussion below. And then I did some sketching and calculating, and I have calculated this so you don't have to. If you get my gauge, you can get started with me, because I've heard from a couple of people that you want a pattern. So here we go. I'm going to flip this around and talk you through the sketch and the info that I have so far, and then we will commence. Alrighty, so here's my v-neck sketch. V-neck. I wrote that in big letters because I want a v-neck. Now this drawing probably does not represent the depth by which my v-neck will go down, but it's at least a drawing. The ribbing that is shown there will be picked up later. If you remember correctly on the last one, my v-neck was too high and therefore it didn't have room for ribbing. Top down, raglan sleeve. And see this line here? This line denotes where I'm going to be working back and forth flat until I reach the point of my V, and then I will go to the round. I anticipate this will happen after I'm done with all my armhole shaping, or the raglan. When I finish the raglan and I put the sleeves on hold, that's probably about the time that I will join in the round. My chest, I'm doing a 40-inch chest. My chest may be a little bit bigger, but if I remember correctly, the sweater I have was measured at a 40-inch chest, so I'm going to stick with that. Remember, we can always do this again. So I measured my gauge on my hat, and I got 22 stitches per inch. And oh, how many rows per inch did I get? I think I have 8 rows per inch. I didn't write that down. 8 rows per inch. Therefore, the 8 rows per inch, the pattern I'm referencing, I'm going to do one more round of, I'm going to do an extra round of raglan shaping to make up for the fact that my row gauge is a little smaller. And then I wrote down, cast on 52 stitches. Oh, 8 rows per inch. There we go. I have 8 rows per inch. There is my first row. Purl 2, place marker, purl 6, place marker, purl 34. Now, if your chest size or bust size is different, I've written down small, medium, large, extra large, XX large, and 3XL, and what number of stitches you should cast on. Place marker, purl 6, place marker, purl 2. So, this is how we're going to proceed for now. And I'm going to get started on this v-neck. If you want to start with me, get out your yarn, do your, get out a fingering weight yarn. This is fingering weight cotton that I'm using. Do your gauge swatch, and if you can get 22 stitches per inch, this formula will work for you. So I just wanted to say goodbye for today. I have spent a bit of the day gardening, a bit of the day knitting on this t-shirt. Here it is. This is my neck. So it would be like this right now. This is how far I've gotten. Just right up at the tippy top. All right. And then just make sure that you, there we go. It's just around my neck. Not very far right yet. and this will keep growing down my front. But I will keep going on this. I hope you join me. You should be able to do all of those things. One of the changes that we're going to make as soon as we break and work in the round again is there's going to be a second bust measurement, and we're going to make sure that our stitches per inch increase to our bust at the point of our bust, so distance down. We're not done perfecting this to fit our own personal bodies yet. So stick with me. We'll talk about the changes that need to be made. So far, so good. My make one right, make one left. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I'm not going to show you specifically what to do. Oh God, my needle is trapped in my neck now. I don't want to undo my stitches. Here, sorry, you're going to get my hand for a minute so I don't lose my stitches. All right, there we go. I'm back. I'm back after a wobbly bop. The make one left, make one right. I'm just going to give you a little tidbit. So here's how it looks. You get little diagonal stitches and not giant holes, which is something I really don't like on a raglan. All you do is when you say make your make one leaning towards the closest stitch marker. That's how I know what to do. So if I hit the stitch marker and my stitch marker is to my right, then I'm going to go back a stitch and pick up that stitch and do an increase. If my stitch marker is to the left of the stitch I'm at, then I go over in that direction and pick up a stitch. Just a way to remember what make one right and make one left is in your head. As being raised a lefty, I forgot right from left all the time, and I still suffer a little bit from it sometimes. So, just a little point of reference for you. And again, don't forget, I have written it on the video, but I said 22 stitches per inch, and that is not the case. 22 stitches for 4 inches. So I've written that in this video, or I will when I upload it. Don't you forget to. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!